Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a new ship purchase for you. I thought I'd do a little bit of a video on it. It's really the culmination of my 1 month's premium that I purchased, which was probably almost 2.5 or 3 months ago now. Just continually kept getting free 2 days here, 3 days there, 4 days here, every time I was completing challenges and a few different tasks. And my premium is about to finish. When I originally bought the premium, I just, of course, being a German player myself, I was particularly going for the Bismarck and the Z23. Well, I accomplished those goals. I then worked my way through the light cruisers of the American line, and also started working on some of the French destroyers and Russian battleships, and really run out of ships that I was interested in purchasing or upgrading. I've got a lot that I could purchase right now, including a few on this page. But I decided to go for the top tier American destroyer, the Fletcher. So this video is going to be basically my purchase video of it. We're going to go through, have a look at a few of the details on the ship, and then have a first play. Now, I do love destroyers. I love playing as a destroyers. I love Japanese destroyers. I'd recommend them the most. I think that they're the best. I don't really play French and Russian destroyers that much, so I don't really include them. For me, I'm really interested in the Japanese and German destroyers because they're so good. But top tier American destroyer, the Fletcher, gets a lot of positive comments and recommendations. And I have watched a few videos on it. I've obviously come up against it a lot in battles, but I thought it's a very different destroyer to my two favourites. The Japanese destroyer is more about standing off and launching those really good long-range torpedoes. German one's probably not far behind, but they have a little bit more hit points. And of course they have the sonar. But the American destroyers, especially at this top end tiers, seem to be all about the guns. Now I think that's something a little bit different. So I did finish off the Mahan, which was an okay ship, an interesting experience. The Benson I've done now just recently. Haven't had a lot of great success with it. The one downside I find with it, because I do love the whole point of playing destroyers is to use torpedoes. I found the downside to it is really the torpedoes. It's got a lot of them, but they're very slow in a very wide pattern. Whereas when I'm using a Japanese destroyer or a German destroyer, I'm finding I'm getting 1, 2, or 3 torpedo hits when I do launch at a bit longer range. With the American destroyer, I was finding I wasn't getting any, or maybe even one. So the American destroyers seem to be something you want to get a lot closer, which goes against really my instincts when I am in a destroyer. I want to be as far away as possible. But hey, it's a different kind of ship, and I think performing different roles and using different ships makes you a better captain. So, or commander, whatever you want to, however you want to look at it. So yeah, I did decide to go down the American line, and I'm done with the Benson now, and I'm ready to purchase the Fletcher and have a bit of a look at it. So let's do that. So I'm going to use my 18 million, which I've accrued now. So I've got 2 more days of premium to sort of use on this ship and try and get some upgrades on her. So I am pretty excited about this. It's a very different play style to the ones I'm used to with destroyers. I'm not a huge fan of American ships anyway, but I'm going to give it a go. Alright, so now I'm just going to... I've got 800,000 here, so we're going to just pop these 2 cheap upgrades. Alright, so we're down to 200k. So first off, we're just going to run into the loadouts here. I'm going to put my early adopter flag. Now I definitely want to put a camouflage on this ship, so I've got 10 of the Type 4s, which are going to help our detectability and fire dispersion, incoming that is. I'm going to put a battle booster straight away on there. While we're playing it, why not put a credits booster on, my global XP on, bit of commander XP, and while we're at it, let's put 100% bonus XP, just because we are going to be grinding here to get some upgrades. Now, going to have a quick look at the overview here. So that one thing I have liked about the American destroyers is the extended smoke. That is, it is fantastic. You really do, but get a lot of smoke. When you pop that screen, it comes in really handy. So this ship does have extended smoke, increased smoke screen duration. Now this ship also has reloader, above average main battery reload time, so you can really pump out those rounds. And this ship seems to be more gun orientated. Nimble aim, above average main battery traverse speed, gives an edge in close quarters combat. So her main batteries can move quickly and they can fire quickly. The Fletcher belonged to the most numerous series of destroyers in the world. She proved to be a very successful ship, combining high speed and efficient AA defences, as well as powerful artillery and torpedo armament. Entered service in 1942, so it was a pretty latecomer, but there were 175 ships in the series, which is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look here. I must admit, she's a pretty nice looking ship, and those turrets look great. Now, it does say she has powerful AA. At the moment, that doesn't really matter a whole lot, but once the enemy aircraft carriers come into Legends, that could be a big bonus. Now, as you can see here, she's got 2 5 turrets down, 5 torpedo launchers, down the centre line, so it enables you to fire on port or starboard, which is a pretty good setup because you can fire one on one side and one on the other, but you can of course fire both on one side. So pretty good design. Now she's got 2 turrets aft, 2 turrets fore, and 1 in the middle there. So that's pretty good. You can get at least you've always got 2 turrets when you're going forwards or backwards to someone, and a broadside you get the bonus single. And I guess if you angle enough, it's probably going to actually require a fair bit of angling. You will get all 5 turrets. Now I'm not sure if they will be upgraded later with any of the upgrades. Sometimes when you upgrade the hull or something like that, you get an extra turret. But I believe 5 is it for this ship. Now let's have a little bit of a look at the stats. Now torpedoes are an important part for me because as a destroyer player, I do love my torpedoes. Now the one glaring fact about the torpedoes on this ship is it's 55 knots torpedo speed. Now, to give you an idea, the Japanese and German destroyers that I love so much, I think they're actually about 70 knots. So we're talking 15 extra knots. Now I think that's one of the problems also with the American torpedoes. Especially I do predominantly play Japanese destroyers, is that the torpedoes get to enemy ships when you launch them very quickly. In fact, you can see them racing towards a target. And what that does is it allows less time for the enemy ship to maneuver, to change its speed. And yeah, I find I get a lot of good hits in that way. The problem with when you've got a slower torpedo speed is that, well, of course, when they are spotted, an enemy ship has more time to maneuver around them or through them or evade them. But yeah, it just takes a long time to get to the target and allows ships to make changes to their course and changes to their speed and perhaps they might see a different target from where they're heading or yeah, so that really does hurt the torpedoes. You get a lot of them. You've got two quintuple launchers, of course. They're 533mm torpedoes. I think their damage is a little bit down as well, but when we upgrade the torpedo package, I believe those will upgrade, you're probably looking to about 12,000 plus, I'm sure. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Detectability range by sea is 1.1 kilometres, which is okay, I guess. Reload time, 109 seconds, is pretty long, but I guess when you're firing that many torpedoes, that's probably a good thing, or you're going to be spamming torpedoes all over the place. I know I would be. She's pretty quick, actually, 37.6 knots. Decent circle radius. Rudder shift time's pretty good too. Once we put a captain in there, of course, well, depending on which American commander we have, these stats might change a little bit. Now, concealment is, of course, a very important thing. Now, I haven't, of course, one of the upgrades is going to be the concealment, major concealment factor, which will probably take that down to about 6, I imagine, or under. But at the moment, we're at 6.8 Ks detectability, so the people are spotting us from pretty far away. I'm looking forward to taking that down. Artillery, so we've got 127mm guns, which that's pretty decent. Not the biggest out there, but it's pretty decent when you consider there's 5 of them, and their reload time is 3 seconds, which is ridiculous. Firing range of 10 Ks is pretty good too. And 5.3 seconds to turn 180 degrees. When you think about that, that's pretty good. Now, even though you are a top-tier destroyer, you're pretty much going to be using HE the majority of the time, though that AP stuff could come in handy with enemy cruisers. Chance to set on fire is only 5%, but I guess when we're firing that many rounds, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Our hit points are pretty low at this stage, but again, that's going to be an upgrade. So let's have a look at our upgrades. Now, of course, I've already upgraded the aiming system, which helps our main battery accuracy. It helps our torpedo launcher traverse speed by a lot. And secondary battery firing range and dispersion of secondary battery, not that big a deal. A good option could actually be the main battery mod 2 this time around. Now the reload time is plus 5%, but the reload time is actually so small that 5%, I'm guessing that wouldn't be much over the 3 second mark that we've already got. But the main battery traverse speed of 15%, wow, that's crazy. But no, I think, I think we've made the right choice. Now, of course, I did change the steering gears mod, which I think is very important, especially for destroyers. Maneuvering is a key part of your ship's survivability. Propulsion mod would be good, I guess, if you're slowing down and starting up, but I rarely do that, to the point where I would rather have that as a mod. Damage control mod would be good, but if I'm getting really shot and damaged that much, then I'm probably in the wrong position. Although with this ship, I think we're going to be a lot more attacking and getting a lot closer to enemy ships, so that could be a good one too. Now, when I do get the money, this is going to be my number one choice. That, of course, the detectability range by 10% is huge, and incoming fire dispersion by 5% is huge. So yeah, so that would take us down to less than 6 kilometres, I believe it was. Probably well under 6 kilometres, enough to make a big difference. And then again, torpedo launcher reload time by 15% would be pretty good. That probably would take us to under a minute. But again, making those main batteries reload faster and the traverse speed is go a little bit slower, that could be a good option too, but I think I will probably go the torpedo launchers. And here we have our 3 choices for our 3 upgrade slots. Now, unfortunately, the reload time being added by 13 seconds up to 1 minute 20, which is what the Benson was, if I remember correctly, when I was running it. That's a huge difference. 13 seconds is a lot of time in World of Warships. But the maximum damage is huge. I mean, up by 5,000. And of course, that's maximum damage. That is huge. So that could be a very good first mod. But the one I'm tempted in, first off, would be the hull. I think taking it up by nearly 2,500 hit points is pretty big, and rudder shift time is improved as well to 2.4 seconds, which is nothing. And I'd probably be leaving the targeting system Mark 7 Mod 2 until the very last. But that's pretty cool. Now this is going to be a very different ship to play to what I'm used to. I'm not sure if this is going to be more fun or less fun. There's only one way to find out. Okay, so there's the Benson that I have been playing as. It's not a bad ship, but like I said, it does have its failings, but now we have Ale Burke, or Ali Burke, I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. The base trait improves the grouping of our shells, which is good. Torpedo speed by 4 knots, excellent. Faster, the better. Detectability by sea, that's pretty much a given, minus 3%, that's great. Torpedo launches reload time by 4%, that sounds awesome. Now, the reload time of the guns could be a massive bonus here. Reload time of destroyers main guns, 4%. That could be a real good bonus. But 4% torpedo reload time is also huge. That's going to be a tough choice. I guess I'm going to wait and see what the ship plays like before I make a thorough decision on that. Smoke dispersion time and deployment time, awesome upgrade. This one, destroyers detectability time after firing main guns, minus 30%. But that's as a special effect. But the main thing this is doing for us is increasing our chance to catch fire, but it does reduce the damage by 7%. Now, other option is the damage control party reload time, which is pretty good. Engine repair time of negative 2.5%. So, and I've got my 2 inspirations: increase the damage of your torpedoes and minus my detectability. So, don't know if there's one that increases the speed of your torpedoes also. That could be a good option. But anyway, this is all just the beginning. Alright, so let's have a go. Let's have a first play in the Fletcher. I am pretty excited about this. I mean, this is a completely different play style that I'm used to. Like I said a bit earlier, sometimes it's good to go out of your comfort zone. Not only does it make that comfort your normal comfort zone, wiser or better, I'm not sure what you would call it, but also your non-comfort zone becomes smaller. Don't know if that actually makes any sense. Okay, we're on fault line. Okay. Now I guess the question is, with a ship like this, do you go aggressive? You've got the really good smoke to shield yourself, and then use your guns and torpedoes and get in close. That way it doesn't matter so much that your torpedoes are a widespread. And you're quite dangerous with two quintuple launchers. And your guns, and if you're hidden behind a nice smoke screen, that's pretty dangerous. I'm going to go up the right side here. Or do you do the typical role of a destroyer and sit back and launch your torpedoes from far away? Which is what I usually try and do. But again, you're paying the price for having slower torpedo speed and a wider dispersion. So I'm not quite sure what the answer is. If anyone's got any advice for me, please chuck a comment below. Excellent. So as you can see here, we've got torpedoes definitely have a good range. Now I would bet my bottom dollar that she's going to come around that corner pretty tightly. But yeah, so let's just launch a torpedo strike straight away. Hopefully we don't get spotted here. Camo and all our buffs got us out of that danger. And the Oya was a nice big fat juicy target, which is very good. And she's taking off at speed now, so let's try and close the range here. Oh, there we go. She sure did pop out. Or was that another ship? Don't know if that was the same ship. I think it was actually. So she really sped up there. So there you go. If our torpedoes was faster, probably would have got a nice hit there. But yeah, the 15k less, 15 less knots really hurt us. Okay, so here's our chance. I reckon let's close in a little bit closer. Launch these torpedoes and let's see what these guns can do. Now this is my first play, so okay, now I've been spotted obviously. Okay, now we don't want that. These guns are very quick. Now someone's detected me with radar there, so I'm in a lot of trouble here. Going to launch my torpedoes. Now if I wasn't spotted with those, I'd be a lot happier. Okay. Well, let's see what our torpedoes do just for the fun of it. Now that is very inspiring. Very inspiring. Those guns fire so quickly. Now I presume she was smart enough to turn. It looks like she was. Teammate, I need your support. We missed with that strike. But that's got me very excited about what this ship can do. Wow, those guns were amazing. So just in that very short time we got one torpedo strike, 26 hits, one set fire and 22,000 damage. I think this ship has a lot of potential. So because that was so quick, let's stop that video there. And we're going to jump into a second battle. Okay, take two. Okay, this time we won't be rushing in. We will take our time a little bit and see what happens. I'm very excited though. That was, yeah, okay, I get it now. I get it now, all you Fletcher people. I get it. Northern Waters, ooh. Okay, this could be good depending on what end we end up starting on. Thanks for watching this video while we're at it. I hope you'll check out some of the other videos on my channel. Okay, so we're let's have a bit of a look at this. So we've got 2 enemy destroyers on the team. Some people might argue we're on the worst side of the map, and we are with 2 battleships. Everyone else is pretty much going to be on the other side. Is that good or is it bad? It's always good having firepower at your back, isn't it? So let's go in here. Now, I think one of the strong points of the Fletcher is going to be its anti-destroyer capabilities. With those guns, the fire rate. It's only going to be a good thing. But of course, if we get hit with a torpedo, we're in trouble. You could pretty much guarantee there's going to be at least 1 destroyer capturing the alpha point with us. But that's good, right? Let's test it out. And there it goes. Pretty sure that'll be a destroyer. We've got 3 cruisers and 4 enemy battleships. Down the other end there you've got 2 cruisers and 2 battleships. Looks like there's another, maybe 2 cruisers right next to each other. Looks like 2 ships there. What do you think the chances are of there being 2 destroyers down here? There's the Fiji. Okay, let's pop our smoke. Now she's got smoke as well. Engine damage. I'm going to do 2 things here. One, launch a torpedo spread in that direction where I believe there could be a smoke screen set. Now, I was hoping there'd be someone within gun range here to really give us a bit of action, but it looks like we're just going to have to go straight at this Fiji who's being super aggressive. Unfortunately my guns won't quite reach the Nelson there, which is what I would have preferred to do. But yeah, we're going to come straight at the Fiji here. Now, she's being very gutsy. She might not even still be there by the time I come around this corner. Hopefully she is, and we can use these guns and our torpedoes to our advantage. Now, under 4Ks, that torpedo spread is going to be very nice and tight. We got no hits on our torpedoes earlier. That's alright. You can see those battleships are really having a bit of a field day with her. When you're in a cruiser charging that many battleships, it probably isn't a good idea, but looks like she's taken one of them out. Oh no, that's a enemy destroyer. That's one good reason to be looking at your the kill feed, because we're going to get hit right there and detected. But now we can start firing. Okay, Fiji, this is our turn. Oh, we didn't even get a chance. Okay. Now, I wish I still had that smoke. I want to try and not get hit here. Of course, with the Nelson, all of her guns were at the foremost section of the ship. These guns are so cool. Okay. Oh, this is so much fun. This is fun already. I'm actually enjoying it so much I can't even aim. Now she's out of range there. Now there is a Kajiro here somewhere. I'm tipping by that smoke. She should be around there, but she probably would have moved by now. Now, unfortunately, we lost a lot of hit points. Being silly like that. But she is right there. She's right there somewhere. Now, normally in this case, I would probably get the hell out of here and go down the other end of the map and help those guys out where it'd be destroyer free, but we need to find out what these guns are like against the destroyer. Yeah, her smoke's gone. I'm tipping she's going to be coming after this Amagi. I would. Now he's just launched an aircraft. Now I'm guessing she would come through these two islands here. Jeez, my steering's really not paying attention today. I'm guessing she's going to come out here, is what I'm trying to say. Now if that aircraft can do the right thing and spot her, we could have a good chance of getting her. As you can see, we're not capturing the base, so she is, and there she is. Okay, Kajiro, let's launch those torpedoes. I'm going to launch one tighter in case she swings around and tries to get our battleship. Now I'm going to put my speed boost on. And we're going to see if we can... Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I haven't got much health left. No. This is actually a lot of fun. If I get hit one more time, I'm in deep trouble. But there's our smoke screen. Oh no! I didn't even realise it. But I had armour piercing on that whole time. I did wonder why it took so many shots. I accidentally switched to AP. Now there's a bad mistake for you. But that's a good lesson to show everyone. You really want to be firing HE at enemy destroyers where possible. I probably would have destroyed that enemy destroyer 2 times over if we had had HE on board. I didn't realise I had accidentally switched over to AP. Very bad mistake. We have now got 45 hits though, which is pretty cool. Now's a good time to look at the enemy list of ships. Now they have 4 left, 3 are battleships and 1's a cruiser. Now that cruiser's the danger. Those battleships will have no worries staying out of visual range and launching torpedoes at them.
Engine boost deactivated.
Now the Wichita's got definitely what it takes to destroy us here. Now what is she going to do? She's going to break cover. And launch one shot ahead. And I'm going to launch one straight up. See what she does. If she turns again, which I think she will, and she's starting to, she's going to want to try and cut in towards those ships, I think. Oh, she's turning the other way. Okay, I was hoping she was going to turn to the left. That's alright. Got plenty of time. Now it does say that there was an enemy battleship. Aha. And there's that Nelson from earlier. Now I've got no smoke left, so I'm going to have to be pretty smart here with what I do. Now the Wichita's gone. Now I can use this island to my advantage. Now I'm going to get a few shots off here. Now the Nelson isn't going to have time to swivel her turrets to hit me. This is good. She's going to try. But I'm going to be well and truly behind this island. Okay, now we can pop out again.
Our victory is in sight.
Unless she's turned severely around, which she hasn't. And we can just basically harass her the whole time. If we stay out of visual range, now we've got this island we can pop to. We can pop around to the left, but I mean the game's pretty much over anyway. But we're going to get a torpedo chance by the look of it here. So launch one. Launch two. We just have to, oh, I was going to say, we just have to be careful. We don't go into visual range. But I don't think she's going to be paying much attention to us when she's got a enemy battleship right ahead of her there. Now one thing is, 5% chance of starting fires really shows. We only set one fire in 62 hits, although I have to say a lot of those were armor piercing. Now let's hope these torpedoes can actually do something. These slow lingering torpedoes. Now, as you can see there, because they were so slow, she's had a lot of time to see them coming and maneuver. Don't know if we're going to get any hits there. We may get one. Oh, nice. And now with her guns facing completely the other way, she's at our mercy. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get any kills then, although we did basically take out that enemy destroyer ourselves. But you can see the potential, even with my massive mistake there of switching to AP instead of HE. You can see what this ship can be capable of and the potential. Now, this is coming from me. I am I do bag out Fletchers. I've always loved destroying them. In fact, I have a video on my channel which I will load, which is myself in the Z23 when I come into contact with a Fletcher, and I destroy it I think within seconds. So I've always bagged out the American destroyers, and I've never had that much fun using them. But now I actually get it. I actually understand you American destroyer players. What your aim is to get to the Fletcher. I get it now. Now, bear in mind, I did have my modifiers on here. Now we managed to finish second. Now ship service is 163,000, so yeah, you definitely have to keep that in mind. That's a big ship service. We are at top tier. And we are on premium, so if I didn't have premium I would have actually been negative 26,000, so I didn't have a great game, but with premium I ended up with 42, which is pretty cool. Ship XP of 7,725. Thank you, bonuses. Global XP of 774, not too bad, and Commander XP of nearly 10,000. Well, just over 9. So that's pretty cool, but that is with all the modifiers and premium. Now, I highly recommend premium to anyone out there that wants to take World of Warships Legends pretty seriously. This is the first time I've actually had premium, a month's premium, and I've got 3 top tier ships out of it, and a few others as well. A couple of you'd probably include 2 tier 6s in that, maybe a tier 5 and a few lower tier ships. It's well worth it. Well worth it. I couldn't even imagine how many credits and XP and global XP I've earned because of premium over the past 2 months plus, just by purchasing 1 month's premium. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But that was actually so much fun and so cool. Geez, my mind is just racing with the amount of options this ship has, and the scenarios that I can do, and I'm very excited. I haven't been this excited about a ship for a little while. So now if we just have a quick look, you can see there that's a massive jump in ship XP. We've got nearly 9,500 XP already. So yeah, use those bonuses on your ships. It's a pretty good lesson. Now I do actually have enough XP to boost now, but of course I don't have the cash. I have 174.1 thousand cash now. So I'm at the very bottom end. So I'm going to be doing some grinding over the next couple of nights. I guess the question is, what's next for this ship? Well, I think I'm going to boost it, and I'm going to increase my hull points. I think getting to nearly 17,000 hit points is going to be pretty good. It might not sound like much, but that can be a big difference between getting sunk and finishing a game, and even winning a game. Also helps the rudder shift time. So there we'll go 3.6 million. Now the easy option, of course, would be to go the torpedoes first and spend that 3.6 million on probably the most important mod for a destroyer, and that's the detectability. Now we were spotted quite a few times there. You know what? This is going to be my next step. So I'm going to get to 2 million. I'm going to get my concealment system mod happening. Now by the time I get to 2 million, I should have quite a bit more XP on this ship done, to the point where I don't have to boost so much. And you're looking at 20,000 XP boost to the next one. So I'm hoping by the time I get my 2 million up and can upgrade the concealment, then a good mod might be to jump the XP up to this area and get the torpedo unlock for cheap. And then there'll be a quick little grind to the next stage, which will be the hull. Then spend the money on the torpedo launcher reload time. Which will actually make it a quicker reload time than it was before I had the negative buff. And by then this Fletcher will be pretty much completely upgraded, and we'll be quite a weapon on the seas. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the next little step. Now I am, of course, at the moment doing the Vini Vidi Vici campaign also, so hopefully in some time in the near future I will have the Roma when that's complete. And as yet I haven't been able to get any of the Italian cruisers in early access. I have, of course, the 2 you can get straight away, which are quite fun. But hopefully I can get some more free cruisers out of the Italian crates and have a bit of fun with those. So my next next month on World of Warships Legends is looking pretty good. We've also got the Transformers content coming up soon too. So yeah, I think I'm going to be enjoying World of Warships for at least another month. And I've been loving it ever since the beta come out. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed that as much as I have. That was really cool fun, and my opinion has definitely now changed of American destroyers and the Fletcher itself. But I will put a link in the description below of my beautiful Z23 making short work of a Fletcher, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So hopefully you'll check out the rest of my channel. Thanks for watching today, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.